If you like betting on horses, be sure to check out WagerTalk.com's own Sig, who zeroes on one racetrack at a time, offering his handicapping skills. Visit his homepage daily for his top selection in each race free. If you want all his selections for that track, you can get his full racing report for just $9.
Teddy, one sec. Joe, they say no audio in YouTube.
All right. I'll keep going.
Okay.
So I had a couple of concerns about the game, but it was priced so far from where I thought it should be priced. I thought Oakland should clearly be the road favorite. That was getting them basically a pick on price. It jumped off the page to me. I said, look, I know I'm concerned the Red Sox don't get swept at home. And I know I'm concerned that maybe Manaea may not be at his best tonight because he threw a no through 7 last times. But this number's so far off from mine, it's a load-up situation. And what happened in the first inning? Well, Manaea wasn't sharp. The very first batter for Boston, Chavez is leading off. Laureano's in center field for Oakland. He hits a soft liner into center field. Maybe it's going to be an out. Oh, but he gets a little bit of a bad jump on it, and it kicks off his glove. And Chavez races around a second, and the Red Sox dugout's going crazy. And I'm like, this feels wrong already. And it was. It was wrong in the first inning. It was wrong in the second inning. It was a wrong side loser, and it sucks when that happens. But, and then your clients hate you on Twitter and all of that. All that said, what's today, man? Today's a new day. And there's a couple of games that I like today on the card. So we'll see if we can bounce back strong. What about you, Prez? You didn't have a good night either.
No, brother. I went N3, lost my baseball 2-0, had the Brewers, lost my basketball, had the T-Wolves. My hockey game was an epic loss, Teddy. Over 5.5. It was 2-1, 4 minutes into the game. And it ended 4-1. But my penalty box segment yesterday killed it. My under in the baseball game hit. And I told everybody to bet the Avs minus 3.5 goals. 5-1 win.
Yeah. And that's what I'm going to talk about.
2.5 and 3.5.
That's what I'm going to talk about. And what did better? What did we learn last night? Because I learned something from hockey that certainly correlates to other sports. We got to talk about it. And what
we'll get there.
Learn. Oh, okay.
We'll get there in one sec, Teddy. I got anything to overshadow what Ronald Kabang and Jimmy Adams are doing over at SportsMemo. So we got to talk about that right off the bat. We literally have Jimmy Adams on a 15-0 run. 50 winners, 0 losers. And Ronald Kabang, 13-0 run. Together, 28-0. That is just, oh my God. We have a promo for you guys for both of them. No coupon code required. Head over to sportsmemo.com. Get both of them for the next 28 days. $280. The regular price is $700. So $280, that is a massive savings. These are probably the two hottest handicappers on the planet right now. Jimmy Adams, 15-0. Ronald Kabang, 13-0. Grab them both over at SportsMemo for only $280. Now, let's talk about what did we learn last night, Teddy? Regale us, my friend.
Yeah, I was trying to segue for you, but we had a promo to put in at the top.
I get it.
What did bettors learn? This is a concept that we've talked about before, but it got reinforced in a big way last night. When we talk about point spread sports, football and basketball, when a team gets too popular, is in too good a spot, the odds adjust appropriately for the point spread. And the betting markets can turn a winner into a loser. The team is laying 28 points and they win by 24. They still won the game. They still blew them out, but they didn't cover the point spread. When it comes to money line and the money line sports, MLB, NHL, tennis, there's a whole bunch of them. But the money line sports, the odds makers the markets can never turn a winner into a loser based on price. What they will do and can do is ask you to lay more, but they can't actually change the result of the game. So when you have one of these late season situations in the NHL, and last night the Avs and the Kings, I did a show on the Sports Grid last night. We were talking about the game closed minus 590 at some books back east. There was no take back from
Teddy was the largest favorite in decades, literally decades in hockey.
Yeah, there was no take back from anyone. All right, nobody bet the dog. The Westgate literally was tweeting at 3 in the afternoon saying, we're at minus 550. We're looking for anyone to come in and bet the dog. If you want to bet the dog, we have the best price in town. I've never seen him tweet that. Didn't matter. Wow. Nobody came in and bet the dog. They were begging for LA money. And all kinds of value on the dog at that plus price. Doesn't matter. In a money line game, you can't turn a winner into a loser. And when those situations present themselves, and they tend to be late season situations, when the situations present themselves, there's opportunity to take advantage. Minus 3.5 goals last night, minus 2.5, whatever you had with the Avs. And that happens in late season baseball as well. What did you learn last night, Prez?
Yeah, I mean, Teddy, it's the same thing. I will tell you just really quick. The LA Kings did go up, and there were some nice in-game betting opportunities in that game. But Teddy, I mean, to me, really, what I learned is what we were talking about last year on Friday, and that is the Toronto Blue Jays. Last week, Friday, I said bet the overs on the Toronto Blue Jay games. They went under one time since then, and I think it was one time.
No, twice. They're back-to-back under a week at Atlanta.
Okay, well, it's gone over more than it hasn't, and I think we need to continue with that, Teddy. I think the over in the Jays game is going to be something that people need to look at every single day. This is a lights-out batting lineup with a mediocre starting rotation. They do, however, have a great bullpen. But really, Teddy, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to I don't know. Do you consider them under the radar right now? I think they are a really good baseball team.
Sure. Well, 3 straight come from behind wins in Atlanta. We'll get people excited about you. And for what it's worth, I too like the Blue Jays over, at least tonight. My clients hopefully will like that play as well by the end of the evening.
Yeah. Teddy covered, buddy, guys, Martin and Drew, what a pleasure to have you on the show, man. How have you been? What's going on with you?
Prez, always good to be on with you and my friend Teddy Covers. Happy Friday to both of you guys. Prez, the MLB show on the YouTube channel is going great. Getting a good following. The chat box is always live. And of course, as you guys know, a lot of baseball knowledge coming in. So the show's going great. Unfortunately for me, 1-3 so far this week with my best bets. So really need to find a winner today, Prez.
Well, let's get into it, Drew. We got Oakland playing Minnesota. Minnesota reeling right now, 3 straight losses. Some of these games, most of these games, not even close. I mean, a 7-3, a 9-3, a 13-8. They did keep it somewhat close in their last game at 4-2. And Oakland, big loser last night against Boston. Game's close to a pick 'em. It hasn't moved. We've got minus 120-ish for Oakland. Where are you going in this game?
Yeah, I mean, 15 cents off where it was, early this morning. But I heard Teddy talking, earlier about the Oakland A's, and I would look for him actually to bounce back here. I mean, I was thinking more of a pick 'em price. It's getting a little bit pricey, but I do think we get the better pitcher and actually the slightly better bullpen here, Prez. Frankie Montez, he's a guy that touches 96, 97 miles per hour. And in each of his last 3 starts, he's had 3 earned runs or less. So you kind of know what you're getting a little bit more than, say, on the other side of it, the Twins starter Shoemaker. Last time versus the Oakland A's, and I'd like to look at the last time the pitcher faced this lineup, which happened to be this season, even though they're not in the same divisions here. He only went 3.1 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, had 4 walks against this lineup, so he didn't fare well. Plus the fact, Prez, Shoemaker year to date, 19 strikeouts and 10 walks. That's not a very good strikeout to walk ratio. And when you only have 19 strikeouts in 6 starts, that's only a little more than 3 strikeouts per game. You're not missing very many bats. Add on to the fact you've already faced the Detroit Tigers twice. That's one of the worst lineups in MLB. The Pittsburgh Pirates, Kansas City, Seattle as well. It's not like he's facing murderer's row of lineups here either. So I think his numbers are even worse than they are posted right now, year-to-date numbers-wise. So all of that equaling to the Oakland A's being the side. And it sounds like the market, at least this morning, is agreeing with me with the bump up here on the A's, Prez.
So I want to ask you, Drew, about the Minnesota Twins. This is a team that won 101 games at a 623 winning percentage, 2019. Last year, a first place team. Last year, first place again, 600 winning percentage for the season. And right now they're mired in last place. And every time you get a quote that says, oh, we're going to break out of this funk, we're going to break out of this funk, they don't seem to do it. A, what's wrong with Minnesota? And B, is there any hope for this team, or is Minnesota just a fade right now until proven otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting case study, Teddy. I would point to the fact of just the overall handicapping angle of not wanting to catch a falling knife. I would wait for a team like Minnesota to rattle off, 3-4 wins, something of that nature, win, 12 of the next 16 games or something like that. Before I'm trying to start, you want them to get on a win streak is what I'm saying before you're looking to bet on them. I hate to just pick out the point of a team in last place, a team that's, working well under their season win total projection and be like, oh, this game against the Oakland A's, now they're going to turn it around. I don't like that type of handicapping at all. And whenever I've done that in the past, I've definitely lost money over the long term. So that's why I stay away from teams like Minnesota and betting on them. And in fact, I'll even, kind of circle them as like, hey, this is a fade opportunity candidate here. And today's a great opportunity to do that with the Oakland A's.
Drew, I love this game that we're going to talk about next. The Dodgers versus Miami. Kershaw versus Alcantara. And, I mean, you don't get Alcantara at this type of money very often. And Kershaw has lost 3 games already this year, 5-3. Miami, man, they've got to be a live dog in this spot with that monster on the mound, and they're getting a ton of money. How are we handicapping this one?
Well, I mean, you said it at the top, Prez. I mean, how many times are you going to get one of the best pitchers in baseball at a plus 185 price? It doesn't happen very often at all. And talking about Sandy Alcantara, I almost think that he's still riding under the radar where like casual baseball fans, when you would think like there's probably some people watching this right now, like one of the best players and pitchers in baseball. What are you talking about? I actually truly believe that. Like we're seeing Clayton Kershaw right here, Prez, where most people, including myself, are thinking Hall of Fame, for Clayton Kershaw. Back a little bit, 5 innings, 0 earned runs against the LA Angels. But the time before that, the velocity decrease. I just think there's a lot of questions here with Clayton Kershaw and having to lay minus 200. No, thank you with that many questions. And my best play for tonight, the one that I invested the most in, Prez, is the fish here at plus 185 in the first 5 innings.
Now, you talk about, certainly from a starting pitching standpoint, I wouldn't argue with Alcantara having, being perhaps a notch ahead of Kershaw at this stage of the game. But from a lineup standpoint, it's night and day between these two teams. Dodgers can hit, and they're hitting, and the Marlins can't hit, and they're not hitting right now. Does that concern you for a first 5 wager? That make you more excited about a first 5 versus a full game? But talk about Miami's offensive struggle.
Sure, Teddy. And I mean, look, everybody knows about that. The lineup is definitely the advantage towards the Dodgers, and they're good against righties. The only thing is, they're not facing pitchers of the caliber of Alcantara to put up these numbers night in, night out. And it speaks to another reason why you want to cut this down from 9 innings to 5 innings. And because I think that there's more of an advantage here to get that 1-0. At the end of the 5th inning, if the Marlins are up 1-0, we cash a huge bet here at plus 185. And sure enough, the Dodgers are going to have 4 more innings to, get their bats and get that advantage that they have in the lineup. I'm more very interested in this first 5 bet because I think that there is more of a volatility here that the lesser lineup can get to the lesser pitcher, Teddy. That's why I kind of work first 5s. And to add on to that, we're cutting out the disadvantage of the bullpens in the later innings. So, yes, I mean, it does worry me. There's no doubt, that the Dodgers do have the better lineup. I can't argue with you there, Teddy. I just don't think it's worth the minus 200 price tag on them for just the 5-inning wager.
Yeah, and Drew, if you can add to that, and if you have been watching the Dodgers play of late, it feels like their offense doesn't even get going until the 6th inning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think their last 2 games, they didn't have their rally until the 6th inning. So I love that handicap, brother. Thank you for joining us on WagerTalk today. What do you got to promote?
Always good. Yeah, no, always good to be on with you guys. We need to do this more often. And huge shout out to the chat box. I see some of the guys in that come in for the baseball. Mike Campbell, Big Daddy, and these guys. Always good characters you guys got in the chat box. But today we got Dave Koken and Brian Leonard on. Going to be breaking down 4 games here: the Atlanta Braves, Milwaukee Brewers, and also Cincinnati and Colorado. We got a no-hitter fade opportunity in that one. So, a lot going on for the MLB show, 1:45 Eastern time.
There you go, everybody. Drew Martin, you can find him at SportsMemo and on First Pitch at 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Drew, thanks again, brother. You killed it. Love having you on. Get the hell out of here. Guys, we're going to take a quick 20 seconds. Teddy's Big Game Breakdown. Skee Profits, Andrew McInnis. There's just so much more to discuss. Stay with us, everyone.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.
It is time for today's Big Game Breakdown. Let's talk once again about the Toronto Raptors tonight. They are in Dallas. Right now, we're seeing the Mavs minus 13.5, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen. There is some variance there. There are a couple of 14 starting to pop up. Total, let's call it 220. We've seen a little bit of money on the under today. I talked about the Raptors in yesterday's Big Game Breakdown. Said Toronto right now is an absolute fade team, a squad that's talking about their season in the past tense. The team has been in the playoffs the last 7 years. It's not going to be in the playoffs this year. They've just been eliminated, et cetera, et cetera. And what happened? They got bombed in Chicago. Again, and the final score wasn't initially indicative of how the game was played. They only lost by 12, but it was not a competitive game. The Bulls ran them out pretty good. That's Toronto's 5th straight loss. And, it's certainly worth noting that Nick Nurse, who is basically sitting every veteran right now, played with an 8-man rotation. It's not even like he's going deep into the bench. It's like a bunch of guys played 43 minutes. Stanley Johnson, Malachi Flynn played 41. Bembry played 39. It's not even like these guys are fresh for the second of back-to-backs here. So the Toronto team that we faded yesterday and cashed, that is playing I'm not going to call it a G League roster. It's a roster of backups, at least. It's not quite OKC's roster, but a limited roster with very limited roster depth against a Mavs team that right now, again, they're rolling Dallas. And they got Porzingis back in their last game. He had a big game. Hardaway's on a roll. Luka's on a roll. Dallas has won, 5 of their last 6. I was debating full game first half, full game first half. I think I'm going to split. I really do. That might be the way to go for this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas jumps them early. I wouldn't be surprised if they blow them out late. I'm not expecting a whole lot once again from Toronto tonight. Look at the Mavs. You can get them, it's -8 in the first half right now, -13.5 for the full game. I think Dallas is worth a look both ways. There you have it, Prez. Big game breakdown. Back to you.
Teddy, I got a feeling we're all on the same page on this game. I mean, I look at this Toronto team, and they're just done. I think Dallas full game is great. I think Dallas first half is an exceptional bet. And I know Skee wants to talk about that. Let's bring him in. Skee Profits from WagerTalk.com. Skee, Teddy took apart this Dallas-Toronto game. I love his handicap. I think the real good bet here is in the first half. Let's go to all the pleasantries later. Break this game down for us.
Yeah, I saw this was his big game breakdown, and I was hoping to be on the same side. I know sometimes we disagree, sometimes we agree, but we definitely are on the same side in this one. It's 1-2-3 Cancun for Toronto. They're not even thinking about playing this game. The only person who might think about this game is one guy, and I blank out, but he's from Dallas. He's probably the only one who's going to care. Outside of that, it's just two teams going opposite directions. Toronto's 1-6, their last 7. Dallas 6-2. And if you look specifically at the first half, Teddy, that's what I'm going to go for. The first half margin in the last 3, you have Toronto as -9.3. For Dallas, you have them as +9. So I look for them to come out early and often, but I'm going to focus on the first half. Dallas has covered 8 of the last 11. I like them -8 in the first half.
Skee Profits, brother. We love having you on. Listen, we got a great promotion for you. Before we get into the next pick, WNBA is back, and you have been just pure money in that sport. Listen, it makes sense, right? I mean, when you're Skee Profits, you're always going to handicap the women better than the men. Tell us what makes you so good at this sport, and then we'll give out the promo for you.
I'll say, for one, I think the books pay less attention to WNBA than a lot of the other sports, so I'm able to get favorable numbers, and I watch every single game, and so I just think I have an advantage with that. I know how to cap basketball, and just getting information in WNBA is pretty much key. So I follow all the beat writers. I have a good relationship with some of these people, and I'm able to get that good information.
Skee
Information is
50,
key.
everybody. What? Sorry, Teddy?
No, go on.
Anyway, Skee 50, everybody. 50% off is season pass in the NBA. Guys, take advantage of that. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Use the promo code SKEE50, and you get 50% off of his NBA. Teddy, I hand the mic back to you, my friend.
Sure. Let's talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, who there's only a few more games left to fade the Thunder. And the markets, they've mostly caught up with how bad they are right now. But there's one OKC player, Darius Bazley, who you've highlighted tonight, who looks to have a good matchup against Utah. Talk to me about Bazley and his points, rebounds, assists total for this evening.
Yeah, well, I mean, usually I wouldn't want to go up against the number 1 rebounding team in the league the last 5, but in general, the play on Bazley is just he gets a lot more usage when Dort is out. Like, you're missing those points from Dort, so you can expect a lot more from Bazley. And I'm looking at his last 6 games. He's went over this 25.5, number 5 of them. And the last 2 were without Dort, and he had close to 30. So I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities in this one. It could be a game where OKC is maybe not in it to win, and Utah doesn't care so much defensively, so he has easier opportunities. So I look for him to continue his success and go over 25.5 for 6 of the last 7 games.
Guys, before we get into Skee's next game, we did have some people ask, where is Gianni? Gianni's going to be back. We spoke a few days ago. Listen, he's really, really busy. The UFC is in full swing, week after week of fights. And Gianni does work for the UFC, so he isn't gone anywhere. I mean, conversely, Teddy, Skee, Gianni's rolling right now, dude. He started the year off pretty slow, but he did come off of a monster 2020. And now he's back rolling. Last 3 days, 22-9 run, 40-28 run the last 7 days. Up 5,500 in profit in the last 30 days. So Gianni's around and winning for all his clients. He just can't find the time right now, and we understand. Skee, let's talk about the Clipper-Houston game.
I want to give Gianni some credit too. I mean,
yeah,
that's somebody that I look up to, and I'm not usually a volume bettor, and I see he's had success with it. I kind of tried to pick it up a little bit, and not the best for me to maybe do volume. So I have a platform where I can reach out and talk to him about it, and I plan to do so. They just added Androids, so I'm gonna have him on there to talk some volume betting, and I love what he does.
Nicely said, brother. Teddy and I aren't volume bettors either. It's the roller coaster on volume bettors is something to behold. But when they win more money than the low volume bettors. I mean, it's higher highs, lower lows. I'm just too old for it, Skee. I actually used to be a volume bettor. Teddy, remember my regular NFL Sunday? I'd put out like 12 plays. Now it's like 3. I just don't have the emotional makeup to handle the volume. Skee, we got to get moving. Clippers, Houston, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I won't take too much time in this one because the props weren't out yet. But I'm looking pretty much to back somebody for the rebounds on the Clippers against Houston. They have Kelly Olynyk at center, and they're the 3rd worst rebounding team in the league over the last 5. So I was looking to maybe back Zubac. If his rebound total is around 7, he played 23 minutes. Like, he usually plays a lot more than that. He played 23 minutes the last 2 meetings versus Houston. He had 7, he had 8. So if he can get anywhere near his regular minutes or solid minutes in the game, I think he'll definitely get over 7 rebounds tonight.
What do we expect from the Clips in terms of intensity or guys sitting or anything like that for this evening? Is that an issue with what you're trying to do? Because the Clips right now, in theory, they can still fall behind Denver and lose the 3 seed, although in the big picture, that might be a good thing.
Yeah, that's the beauty of player props. I don't care if everybody plays or not, but I would think some people sit. I don't think the intensity will be there for the Clippers, but I only need one player. As long as he's out there on the floor, he'll care, and that's Zubac. The one thing I'll say, though, for Houston, I do like to fade teams that continually lose. They've lost 5 or more games in a row, and it's the first game back on from a long road trip. That doesn't seem like a good situation, but I do agree with kind of how you were thinking that intensity may not be there for Clippers. It'll be fade Houston or nothing for me, but I prefer the player prop.
And just one quick follow,
yeah,
Skee,
go ahead.
just one quick. This last weekend of the NBA, the final weekend of the regular season, do you bet a lot, a little? You find anything? How do you approach these last basically 2 games for every team?
In general, in the past couple of years, I've just pretty much just bet only the motivation spots. Like, we have a couple teams playing for something and a lot of teams who probably don't care. So I just focus in on those few teams.
What a show today. Skee, what do you got to promote?
Well, I do love that WNBA is here. I love the special that you guys gave out for that. So I'll definitely get into WNBA action. I'll probably have one play out tonight. I didn't see a total up yet, but I am eyeing one game and looking to have success again this year.
Excellent stuff. Skee, buddy, $50, 50% off of his WNBA season. Skee, pleasure to have you. We'll see you Friday next week, same spot. And guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to Kyle Anthony. I know you guys are talking in the chat room about the UFC and Chandler and the Olive, etc., etc. Guys, as we discussed with Kyle yesterday, he has a promo code. You guys can get his first bet of the night tomorrow for free. Use the promo code UFC 262 free. That's UFC 262 free, and you literally get a free bet from Kyle Anthony. Speaking of the UFC, Teddy, Andrew McInnis joining us. Dude is rolling in the UFC, rolling in baseball, rolling in hockey. He's just moved in with his woman to a new house. So congratulations on that.
So keep me on as long as you want, guys. As long as you want, keep me on as long as you want.
Teddy and I get it, bro. Why do you see these pipes? These pipes came before the divorce because it was like, I got to get to the gym.
Well, I got to ask, is this the first time that you've cohabitated with a female?
Well worded, Teddy. It is. Yeah. But, we were, I guess, going out and stuff like that. We lived very close on the same street, actually. So we pretty much coexisted for a large part of the pandemic. So the only difference is all my stuff is here now. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Well, there's a big difference is that there's no place to go. Exactly. So live and learn, Andrew. Good luck. And congratulations on moving in with the missus.
Thank you.
Andrew, you're going to be in play on UFC. You like Chandler or the Olive? Any quick thoughts?
I like the Olive. I'll keep it at that.
Okay, there you go. Let's get into it, brother. NHL. Let's talk first. Talk Penguins and Islanders, and then we'll get into how incredible your run of late has been. Pittsburgh minus 145 against the Islanders. If you guys watched PuckTime today, I was on it. I gave my opinion on this game, on this series. I believe Pittsburgh at minus 145 is a really good bet. Andrew, handicap this series for us.
So the Pittsburgh Penguins won the series 6-2. And look, when I look at this series, you approach it and I think of all kinds of factors, but the number one factor that comes to my mind is looking at last year, the downfall that the Pittsburgh Penguins, the letdown they had, losing to the Montreal Canadiens on the play-in. That was not something that would have, been, a good thing for this Pittsburgh Penguins team. But I think you look at the Islanders right now, and I liked them last year, the year prior to that. The difference is with this Islanders team, Prez, they had such strong defense, such great goaltending, which is what I love to take in playoff teams. But right now, you look at depth and you look at all-stars, and that edge goes completely in favor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. You said it earlier today on PuckTime. Matthew Barzal, Brock Nelson, those guys, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, they're not superstar caliber. Crazy stat for you here, guys. Crosby, what makes great players, guys? And Teddy, I know you don't follow hockey as much, but you can agree with this in basketball and football, any other sport as well. A great player proves they can play with all kinds of players. And it seems like anybody that goes on a line with Sidney Crosby, their stats go up. Yeah. Their stats go up. Anybody who goes on the line with him, Crosby, Gensel, and Russ, they've played 822 minutes together combined on the year, and they have outscored opponents 71-37 during that time span. I believe the Pittsburgh Penguins have far too much speed. Their defense is very underrated, and they'll get the job done.
Yeah, we're totally on the same page on this one, Andrew. Guys, Andrew streaks in baseball, 37 wins, 15 losses. That's unbelievable stuff. Congratulations. In NHL, 47 wins, 25 losses since April 1st. And if you guys bet $100 a unit on all of Andrew's plays over the last 30 days, you would have made $8,000. Andrew, congratulations. Outstanding run.
Thank you.
Way to go, brother. Teddy?
Yeah, let's talk about one more series here. Look at the Wager Talk live odds screen. I'm seeing the Tampa Bay Lightning in the minus 155, even minus 160 range against the Panthers. What are we doing with this one?
Well, Teddy, I can't come on here and just give you two favorites. I got to give you an underdog as well. And I'm going to go ahead here and give an underdog in this series with the Florida Panthers. You can use the whole Stanley Cup hangover theory. We can look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. There were so many years in a row. They failed miserably. They had unbelievable regular seasons. They couldn't get it done in the playoffs. They finally won their cup last season. This time around, the Florida Panthers, Prez and I are on the same page. I believe if they were in a bigger market, they would be way more talked about. They have some skill on all assets, all parts of the ice, but they have two players, Huberdeau and Barkov, two of the most talented forwards in the league, a great goaltender tandem. But I think the biggest thing for them this year, their defense has really picked it up. In some of the advanced stat categories, you can look at some other defenders have really picked it up. They picked up Sam Bennett as well at the trade deadline. They have those pieces, guys, that I look for in a playoff team. The playoffs are a whole new beast than the regular season. I think we're getting some great value, some great price. And I know that term value is thrown around so much, guys, but I think it's very applicable here in this spot. So give me the Panthers here at a great plus price.
Andrew, value is the key word here. I mean, I could not agree with you more. Panthers, I think 5-3 against Tampa Bay this year, won their last two games. I actually believe, and I know the Kucherov fans out there are going to think I'm nuts. I think the best player on the ice plays for Florida. His name is Barkov. I think Florida is a much deeper team. I think Florida has more grit. I think Florida has more speed. I think Florida's goaltending is not as good as Tampa Bay's, but it is still world class. I think they have the best coach maybe in the history of hockey. Florida
and Prez, some might say that it's a good thing about how you finish the season, guys, and not, don't worry about the start of the year or the middle of the year. But let's be honest. If you saw an NFL team losing to the Jets, Teddy, does that mean something to you? I mean, I know it's one game, but hey, if you still lost to the Jets, right? And I feel like this Tampa Bay Lightning team, they lost to too many teams this year that they shouldn't even be close in those games. So to me, I know it's all about how you finish your seasons, but at the end of the day, Tampa Bay showed me too many signs of worry this year for them to be this big of favorites.
Yeah. So I don't worry about. I was going to say if a team steps up well in the NFL and then lets down against teams like the Jets, when it comes to the playoffs, I'm not going to hold that against them because they stepped up well. The games that they weren't necessarily fully focused, that's the games where you can bet against them. In the playoffs, in theory, they're supposed to be focused. So it's not an automatic bet against because they.
Yeah, I just didn't forget it. I just didn't forget about those letdown spots they had.
And you know what, Andrew? It's such a good point because it wasn't like they lost to the Jets once. I mean, Tampa Bay lost to Detroit, I think, twice this year. And not only that, guys, if you go back and you look deep into Tampa Bay's numbers, and I know Stamkos, the most overrated hockey player of the game, was out, and I know Kucherov was out, but if you go deep into the last, say, 27 games, give or take, Tampa Bay has only scored 3 or more goals 4 times. So this team can score at the same pace as the freaking Islanders right now. And nobody gets the puck on net more than the Panthers. I am so with you on this, Andrew. Tons of value on Florida. Guys, there's no penalty box segment tonight. I do like the Winnipeg Jets tonight at plus 145, 150. I think there's a ton of opportunity there. Other than that, Andrew, what do you have to promote? And then Teddy, please take us home.
Tonight, I just have one MLB 4% best bet. As much as I had a great run, guys, that I'm on, I believe in full transparency. I went 0-2 yesterday, so looking forward to bouncing back. And I'll have some serious bets up today in the NHL. But that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone had a crap night last night. Sorry, Andrew. I hope my stink didn't wear off on you. That's going to wrap it for the week. Talking about my stink, that'll wrap it for the week here on Wager Talk Today. I want to thank all of our guests for today. Andrew McInnis, obviously Skee Profit, Andrew Martin. I want to thank co-host Lawrence Presman. I want to thank Joe Ranieri behind the scenes. Most importantly, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us here on Wager Talk Today. Please be sure to stay tuned for all the fine quality programming on the Wager Talk YouTube channel for the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend. We'll be back again right here, 9 a.m. on the left coast, noon on the east coast, Monday morning. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.